everybody, this is Dennis from DJ's Classic Garage. I got something a little different for you today because it's something I personally cannot understand, and I don't get it. And of course, what I'm talking about is this cult-like following of electric cars. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And this all comes about because I read an article that was originally broadcast on my local NBC channel, WFLA in Tampa, about a couple that for some reason wanted to drive their electric car from Los Angeles to Tampa, and then they were shocked that they had issues driving from Los Angeles to Tampa with this technology. And let me be very honest up front. I have no issue with electric cars in concept. I mean, you can make them as fast as humanly possible, which is incredibly fun. You know, that, on the positive side, I mean, it's incredibly fun. Can't really leak oil. You know, and it has instant torque. You know, that's the positives. The negatives just completely outweigh that, and everybody's beat that to death. And one of the big negatives is like putting power into them. And this is just insanity that when I read this article to you, I'm going to highlight it, I'm going to put it on the screen, and I'm even going to link to it down below. You're going to just shake your head because I don't have that same love for a gasoline engine as they do electric motors. I can tell you several gasoline engines that are garbage that you should never buy, run away from. Don't waste your money. You're gonna get a bad deal. Without hesitation. You know, and I like working on them. But you know, there's no way around it that they cult-like follow. So the story starts where they are driving from Los Angeles to Tampa, Florida. And the title of the article is "Half of Them Didn't Work. Couples Drive to Tampa Reveals Short-Circuit EV Charging Program." Now, the article starts off, this is what they had for the broadcast, but they transcripted it, and they push to go to gas to electric has resulted in a sharp increase in greener vehicles on our roads. This is not true, but they have to spin it like that. And the push, that means mandates. Also, not a positive. You can see where somebody that likes freedom to drive their car would kind of be a little put off by this. But I digress. But the charging stations need to keep up with them, continue to lag behind. That point was driven home to Chris Pancock and his wife during a road trip from Los Angeles to Tampa. Reality is not close to the goal of creating a network of 500,000 public charging stations across the country, according to Pancock. And it's easy to find offline chargers everywhere, including Tampa area. Let me stop there for a second. Public. That means government paid. Last time I looked, every gas station is privately owned. Right? Why are these having to be public? Why are these having to be funded with my taxpayer dollars, your taxpayer dollars? I don't understand this. You know, you can comment below. Give me some ideas of why a technology that is so readily available, so great, needs to be propped up by government spending. Could you just enlighten me on this? I seem to be a little lost. In my 52 years, I've never seen anything like this for transportation, where private transportation, where it ended up having to have public monies just so you can actually use the vehicle. Because technically you can use a car without even a paved road, because that really didn't need to happen. It happened out of convenience, and we don't even digress on why that was done all crazy. But I digress still. In some places, when you didn't get a signal, and if you don't get a signal, you can't activate your account to start the charge. So you have to have wireless, you have to have internet to actually be able to use these things. I don't need internet to put gas in my car now, but you need internet to put electricity in your electric car. If you can't get a signal with your phone, you have to take out your wallet and use a credit card, prompting a $50 deposit on your account every time you charge a vehicle. During the trip, there were 6 of those charges. It ended up that you don't get the deposit back right away. They had to call and call and call. That's what he said. Think about this. That was 6 times that happened. How many times did he have to charge driving the 2,100 miles from Los Angeles to Tampa? It was 2,600. It's a long way, but that's insane. That's 6 times that it didn't work. According to Green Car Reports, Tesla share of market now is 50%, down from 62%, and their charging stations had less issues. Go figure. Now, this is the part that kills me in this article. Florida ranked 14th in EV readiness, which is in the top third of readiness. Any statistics out, anybody does statistics out of 50 states. But near the bottom number of vehicles per station with 21 cars per every roadside charger. There are more than 21 cars for every gas pump. How many charging stations do you need to make this work? And there are 300 million plus cars, actually maybe 600 million cars in the United States. We don't have 300 million gas pumps. There's not even nowhere even close. I didn't even look this up, and I just know that's not true. There are not that many of them. What number do you need to make these work? Because 21 seems reasonable to me as a car owner, because I have more than 21 cars per gas pump in my area. And it's perfectly fine. I don't really wait to get gas in it. So then he goes to, they have the problem with the local stations. Connecting the vehicles may only take a minute, Panko said, if plugging his car, but you can always see how long you've been there. Your gas tank would have been full by now. And then the charge didn't work. Congratulations. This one is always down, referring to a charger and station near Brandon. But Panchak is not ready to go back to gas. But he came on 8 of your side, hoping others prepare if they decide to go electric. And this is what I'm talking about. This is the cult-like following of these cars. They're a technology that does not fit most people's lifestyles at all. But this person who just had the most horrific experience ever, it took them 56 hours to make the drive from Los Angeles to Tampa. That's the driving time, not staying time. It's a 36-hour drive. It took them 56 hours, with 14 of that being charging. But he's okay with that. That's crazy. That's not normal thinking. That's idiocracy. That really is cult-like. And now it gets even better. I came because we are being forced, in a sense, to drive electric vehicles. If that's the case, we are going to need to get the infrastructure together, Patrick said. This is the owner of a car saying we're being forced, mandated, forced. It isn't the marketplace deciding it. This is forced on us, and it doesn't work. But the cult-like people keep on pushing it. It doesn't make any sense to me as a car mechanic, as a car owner. It should make no sense to you. This is crazy talk. Because then he goes on, he's like, we need to focus on the ones that we have right now before building any new ones. Because we can't expand anything, the core doesn't work. Well, if this small amount doesn't work, there's no way anything else is going to work. Panchuk said he may consider renting a gas-powered car for any long-term trips until the efficiency of the infrastructure improves. That is cult-like. Jim Jones laughs at this. This is craziness. This man spent at least $70,000 on an electric car. Spent thousands to make his lifestyle fit around it. But now if he has to make anything of a long trip, which in an electric car is over 300 miles because they can't do that, round trip, I mean, I'm talking just round trip. They can't. It's not plausible. Real world, it doesn't happen. That's crazy. And we as especially classic car owners, people that like hot rodding their cars, working on their cars, keeping their cars for years, we need to start stopping this as car people, because this is bad. This technology is not ready for prime time. It is far from it. Could you imagine when they released fuel injection en masse in the 80s? Because that's when the American manufacturers started. Ford was the first in America to really push real fuel injection. That if it failed like this, do you think we'd be having fuel injected cars? I mean, the mentality doesn't grasp in my mind. You know, and I'm not against technology. I mean, I have a 2016 truck outside. We have a 2022 Bronco. They're fuel injected. They have all the modern things in there. I'm okay with modern stuff. But good God, there's no rational thought process behind this. You know, once again, what are your thoughts on this? Because this doesn't make any sense to me as a car person, or as somebody that understands finance, or understands business, or understands the market. It's numbing. So that's really what I have for this week. Well, I hope you got something out of that. If you did, please like, hey, subscribe. You know, comment below on what you think. And also make sure, if you're a car person, write to the people that you need to write to, your senator, your congressman. Let them know that this is insanity. That we want cars that we can actually use and be able to maintain and keep for years and use at our whim. So with that, if you have a classic car or something really cool, take it out, because you can make someone's day, including your own. And as always, catch you down the road.